Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning po.
Hi guys. Kamusta?
Okay naman po, sir.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. Let's go, sir.
Okay. So it's nice to hear your voices and I hope I can see you later. So our topic for today is um, separable differential equation. So we are now going to solve first order differential equations. First order ordinary differential equations. So there are many methods or techniques that we can arrive at a solution of a differential equation. So the first one that we are going to learn is the variable separable or separation of the variables. Okay, so let's consider this first order differential equation. Okay, so dy over dx is equal to the function of either x or y or both functions of x and y. Okay, so take note. So this could be both functions of x and y. And then with this first order differential equation, okay, let's rewrite this into this format where the first term is m, a function of x and y, and n, a function of x and y times dy over dx equal to 0. Now, if we transform this equation into a differential form in which m is the coefficient, a function, a coefficient of dx, and n as the coefficient of dy equal to 0. So take note that m is a function of x and y, and n is a function of x and y. So for us to be able to arrive at its solution, so we need to integrate this differential equation. However, for you to be able to integrate this equation, it needs you need to make sure that okay, the first term here, since you can see there's a dx here. So the first thing that you need to do is to make sure that the coefficient is a pure function of x. And for the second term na involve yung dy or the variable y, so you need to make sure that the coefficient or the functions here in your dy is a pure function of y. Okay? So if you can be able to separate the variables where y is with dy and x is with dx, then you can now proceed to integration. So that's basically one technique. So there are differential equations that you cannot separate the variables where you can put, okay, where you can put the variable x to dx and variable y to dy, or you cannot put, okay? So it means that a differential equation has another method or another way or technique to solve for its solution. Okay, again, so in the previous um, lessons that we had, our objective there was to arrive at its differential equation. Now our focus is finding for the solution. So if we did before differentiation, now we are going to use integration to arrive at the solution. So tandaan na, given tayo ng differential equation and the method or the process that we are going to use is integration to arrive at the solution of a differential equation. There are two types of solutions. So just to recall, the first is the general solution and the second is the particular solution. So firstly, if you're asked to solve for the particular solution, you first arrive at its general solution. Okay, do you remember? So again, not all first order differential equations can be solved using this technique where you separate the variables, where you put x to dx and you make sure that y is with differential y or dy. Okay, so this is our first method. Now, we have the following problems here to solve. So these are just simple problems, okay, for you to be able to to understand or to get the idea of separating the variables. So prior to solving these problems, let me just show you if this differential equation is, okay, let me just write something here. Okay. So you may be you may be encountering a lot of problems later on, like in your next quiz before taking the prelim exam. So you will have another quiz which involves several differential equations. So you are to determine their solution. But there's an instruction there that I have made that you will only solve for separable differential equations, since um, our first topic or method that I'm going to discuss is separation of variables or separable DE. So you will only solve DEs that are separable. Now I will show you here an example how you can be able to separate a variable or if the DE is separable or not. Okay, say for instance, have this one. Okay, so x, y plus x, okay, times dx, and then plus, okay, x plus y, xy, same idea. Okay, wait a moment. Let me just edit this one. Okay. Okay, x plus 1 dy equal to 0. Okay, again, the process for finding the solution of a DE is through integration. But you cannot integrate this differential equation if dx has a function na both x and y. So you need to factor out or to separate the variables. So kapag naka-product form siya, mas madali mong ma-separate yung variables. So take a look at this example. So this term contains a function of x times dy, and here you have functions x and y times dx. So as you can see, you can be able to factor this one since common yung variable x. So you can write x, factoring out x, so you have y plus 1 times dx. And on the second term, so copy lang natin, x plus 1, okay, times dy equal to 0. So our objective here is to make this term a pure function of x and this term a pure function of y, okay, for us to be able to proceed to the next step, which is the integration. Okay? Okay, now wait for a moment. I'll just add some of these students here. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Now, we need to eliminate here the function of y. Dapat kasi pure function of x lang to. So we divide both sides by what? Okay, this function y plus 1. Okay, divide the entire equation by y plus 1. And for the second term, we have, okay, we need to make this term a pure function of y. So, kailangan tanggalin natin yung x plus 1 dyan, yung function of x. So, divide both sides by x plus 1. So, ito yung case na pwede nating ma-separate yung variables. But there are other differential equations that you cannot separate the variables. So, I'll show you an example later after this one. So, dividing both sides by these factors, y plus 1 times x plus 1. So, divide natin dito. So, what will happen to the first term? You will have x times dx. Okay. Naririnig niyo ba ako? Ayan, cancel natin yung y plus 1. So, ang matitira dito is x plus 1. So, as you can see, the first term is a pure function of x. Ayan, pwede natin siyang ma-integrate. Okay? But before that, ayan, tapusin muna natin. So, divide this term by y plus 1 times x plus 1. So, makancel na yung x plus 1. So, as you can see, you will have dy over y plus 1 equal to 0 divided by these functions, 0. Okay, a pure function of x, so pwedeng integrate a pure function of y, and you have 0 sa right-hand side ng equation mo. So, ayun na. Yun na yung next step. So, if you can be able to separate the variables where x ay naka-dx at si y ay naka-dy, then that differential equation is a separable DE. Okay? Clear? Now, I will show you an example na hindi separable yung DE. Na hindi mo kayang paghiwalayin.
Sir,
So,
sir.
yes.
Paano po nag-come up, sir, dito sa ano? Yung unang, sir, equation po. Yung xy plus x dx plus x plus 1 dy equals to 0 po.
Example ko lang to.
Ay, example lang ba yun, sir?
Okay, hindi ito yung problem pa ha. Pinakita ko
Okay.
lang yung separation. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sorry, sir.
Okay lang. Thank you for clarifying. Okay, baka kasi nagulat ka biglang, ito yung given tapos biglang ito yung sagot ko. No. I'm just showing you how to separate the variables. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? None? Okay, so wait for a moment. Okay, wait lang guys. Burahin ko lang to and then I'll show you another example. Okay, let me pause the recording for a moment. So again, we are now dealing with differential equations. We're after finding for its solution. So again, sabi ko, pag hindi kayang i-separate yung variables, may ibang method or technique na pwedeng gamitin. And that technique will be discussed next term na siguro kasi may application tayo next week. So yung first natin na technique or method is by separation of variables. Okay? Clear tayo doon? So itong kapag hindi nyo na kayang i-separate yung variables, ibig sabihin hindi siya separable DE at may ibang method para ma-solve siya. Okay, ibang klase siya na DE. So ito, I have here 4 examples. Lahat ba dito nakakapaintindi ng Tagalog? Or kailangan ko mag-English? Kasi may mga ibang klase na kailangan ko mag-English. Kasi may mga foreigners, so kailangan ko mag-English. Pero dito naman, baka hindi dito hindi Pinoy. Wait lang, check muna natin, baka may alien dito. Santos Teves, Abacan, Literio. Okay, lahat naman kayo, 'di ba, nakakaintindi ng Tagalog?
Oo, sir.
Opo, sir.
Ako lang naman yung medyo may problema sa Tagalog. Ako yung hindi straight mag-Tagalog kaya kasi taga-probinsya kasi kaya ganun. Anyhow, let's continue. So itong examples ko na to, very simple lang to. Baka sabihin nyo, yan na naman si sir, example, ang napakadali. Pero yung quiz or exam, ang hirap. So I can give you, sabi ko sa ibang sections, I will be conducting another class for review and para dun sa mga questions and also to provide further examples. And kapag nakapag-quiz na kayo, natapos na yung quiz number 1, I can also have a make-up or para i-discuss ko yung solutions sa quiz kapag may tanong kayo. So, mas maganda rin na alam niyo yung solutions kasi once you have taken the quiz, you cannot be able to recheck, di ba, kung ano ba, saan kayo nagkamali. Okay? Sa face-to-face, usually ginagawa natin yun, di ba, after quiz, pag binalik yung papel, pinapakita yung solution, di ba? So para ma-review prior to taking the prelim exam. So probably next week or abangan lang yung announcement ko just in case na hindi man ako makapag-announce at medyo short lang yung notice. So i-record na lang namin para doon sa mga nakakaalam at pwedeng umattend at available during that time. I-record na lang namin yung mismong discussion. Pero yung quiz for sure baka next week ko na i-discuss yung solution. Further examples will be discussed siguro next meeting. Okay, now let's proceed. Okay ba yon?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, kung available lang kayo, you can attend. It can accommodate up to 100 students yung sa Zoom. Yeah, kaya magsama-sama na yung ibang mga programs. Anyway. So yung first natin na example is a first order DE. So tandaan na lahat ng itong differential equation to is first order differential equation. Na ano yung palatandaan natin para masabi na first order DE siya. Present yung first derivative, di ba? I mean, the highest derivative that you can see here is first derivative. So lahat yan, first derivative, first derivative, first derivative. Kaya first order ordinary differential equation. Ordinary because you can also only see ordinary derivatives. No partial derivatives are in this equation. Now, let's continue. Let's solve the first example. Ayan. dy over dx is equal to x over y. Ayan, so cross-multiply lang natin yan, di ba? Para mahiwalay yung variables. So you have y dy sa left-hand side. Sa right-hand side, you have x dx. So simple as that. Di ba? Napakasimple. So kayang paghiwalayin. Ay, nabanggit ko pala kanina prior to solving this. Ano yung example ng mga DE na hindi kayang paghiwalayin? Okay, mga hindi pa paghihiwalay. Kahit anong man ang gawin mo. Okay, wait for a moment. Let's pause this for a moment. Tapos, nag-jump na naman ako. Sorry guys ha, baka sabihin nyo napakaan naman ni Sir. Bear with me na lang. Okay, example nitong DE na hindi kayang paghiwalayin is ito. Yan, x plus y. Di ba? Hindi mo kayang i-factor yan. Di ba? Pag may nakita kang ganyan na DE, yan, y prime is equal to, say for instance, may trigo functions. Now, hindi siya linear na so hindi siya limited sa mga algebraic functions lang. So may mga cases na pwedeng involve yung trigo functions, exponential, logarithmic functions, so ganun. So ito, kasi this function actually contains variable x and variable y. So paano masabi hindi mapaghiwalay, sir? Di ba kasi yung dy over dx, itong y prime is dy over dx. Okay. Although dalawang terms yan, kapag distribute mo tong tingnan natin ha. Okay. Sige, if you multiply both sides by dx, kasi we know that y prime is what? dy over dx. Para maging differential siya. Okay. Ang gawin natin. So you have now x what? Plus y times dy, makancel yung dx equal to cosine of x dx. Okay. Kung pansinin niyo, di ba, itong sa side na to, pure function of x siya. Although pure function of x siya, hindi ko mo pwedeng, sige, pure function of x na siya, sir, so pwede ko nang i-integrate. Hindi pwede kasi yung dy mo naman na side, kailangan lahat, kailangan wala kang makita dyan na magkasama yung variables x and y. Kailangan as in, sa isang term na yan, pure function of x or x variable alone, y variable alone yung makita mo dun. So ito, pag distribute mo yung dy, di ba magiging x dy ka, right? Tapos y dy. Yung y dy, pure function of y yan. Kaso nga lang, yung fact na meron kang x times dy, hindi pwedeng ma-integrate yung mismong term na hindi siya separable. Nakuha nyo? Pag hindi nyo kayang paghiwalayin, ibig sabihin, may ibang method na gagamitin para ma-solve yung DE at hindi siya through separation of variables. Meron tayong technique na substitution, meron tayong mga DEs na linear, may exact differential equation, ginagamitan ng integrating factor. So, madami yan. May Bernoullis pa. Okay, itong unang technique natin is yung very straightforward siya na kapag nag-cross-multiply ka, pag nag-multiply ka ng ganitong factor in each term of the equation, na kayang matanggal na yung mismong unwanted variable doon. I mean, kailangan mo ng purong function of x, so kailangan x lang. Kailangan mo ng y function doon sa term na yun. So, yun ang dapat. Yun yung requirement dito. So, kaya hindi siya separable. So, this is not. Naintindihan niyo ba yung idea ng not separable?
Opo.
Yes po, sir.
Okay, so very good. Importante na intindihan ninyo. Now we can proceed to this example. Okay, let me clear this one. Okay, let's continue. Sir Phil. So we can integrate now each term. So integral of y dy. Remember how to integrate. So dito naman, pag nagawa na natin na ma-separate na natin yung mga variables, na yung x ay naka-dx, yung y ay naka-dy, the next challenge will be the integration na process. Kasi if you have forgotten, walang problema kung simple integration like power formula, like yung mga antiderivatives ng trigo functions, antiderivatives ng exponential, so you have to recall those formulas. Pagdating doon sa mga trigo substitution, integration by parts, yun na yung magiging challenge kapag nakalimutan na ninyo. So you have to, again, remember and recall those techniques for integration. Okay? Yun yung magiging makakatulong sa inyo dito. Kapag nakalimutan mo yung technique for this particular integration, yun yung magiging problema. So, anyway, let's continue. So this is y squared over 2 equals x squared over 2. As you can see, itong example natin, as much as possible, kung pwedeng yung function of y or variable y nasa left-hand side, tapos yung variable x ay nasa right. Doon tayo mag-add lagi ng plus c or arbitrary constant. Tandaan ha, yung y is the unknown function or the dependent variable in this case. Yung x is the independent variable. Kaya yung left dapat, kung possible lang ha, or kung hindi possible, lahat sila nasa left-hand side equal to the arbitrary constant c. Okay? So yun yung magiging nyo, parang rule na gagawin na, okay, kung kaya naman sila na nasa isang side lang, basta ma-simplify mo yung solution. Importante na simplified yung solution. Okay? So pagdating dito, you have y squared over 2 equals x squared over 2 plus, di ba? Nag-add tayo ng arbitrary constant c or plus c. But we can still simplify this one. Okay? Or tinuro ko nung last time, kung yun yung ginawa ko, I think nag-introduce ako ng di ba? Ng factor or ng mismong constant para ma-simplify natin yung entire equation. Or pwedeng hindi mo na gawin yung ganyan, tapos pagdating sa dulo, make sure na papalitan mo yung kung ano man nangyari sa C as bagong C na may ipapakita ko. So, itong ginawa ko, since common yung 1/2 or over 2 sa dalawang terms, ang ginawa ko din sa C is ginawa kong C over 2 na rin siya. Okay? Para pagdating sa solution, sa general solution, C na lang yung lalabas. Okay? So, pwede kasing ganun nababaguhin mo yung C mo para ma-simplify mo yung entire solution. Okay? I mean, entire mo yung solution nitong DE. So, multiplying both sides by 2 para matanggal natin yung over 2 na yan or yung 1/2. We have y squared equals x squared plus C. So, ayan na. So, what will happen kung hindi natin nilagyan ng over 2 dito? Yun yung sinasabi ko na pwede naman yung ganun na case. Kung naalala niyo, di ba sabi ko na kaysa magbago kayo sa huli, baguhin niyo muna sa umpisa. Right? Sa umpisa pa lang magbago na kayo kaysa sa huli kayo magsisisi. O may mga ganung hugot. Joke lang. Anyway, so wait lang guys. Ito kunyari, hindi natin nilagyan ng over 2 dito. So ang mangyayari dito is magiging 2c siya. Di ba?
Opo.
No? So yung 2c na to, gagawin mo siyang c na lang sa final answer mo. Okay? Ganon yung isang way. Pero itong ginawa ko, naka-pattern siya dun sa mismong kung ano yung nakikita natin, especially dun sa y ka lagi titingin. Okay? Kasi yung isa sa mga parang nire-require minsan sa solutions, naka-solve for y siya. I mean, explicitly naka-solve for y na ganito. Y is equal to. Ayan. Itong side na to, function of x siya. Yun yung solution actually. So, plus c. Yun yung solution ng DE. Okay? Naka-solve yung naka-solve for y na siya. Okay? Kaya ganun yung arrangement natin. Yung left-hand side, andun yung variable y. Pero kapag medyo complex na or komplikado na yung mismo equation, so pwedeng lahat sila nasa left-hand side tapos naka-equate sa C. Okay, clear tayo dyan. Sige, burahin ko muna. Let's continue. Okay, so that's your final answer, or you can solve for y. Okay, paano? Kasi nga di ba y squared. So para ma-solve for y natin yan, paano matanggal yung square? So i-square root natin both sides of the equation. No? So ganun yung gagawin natin. So in that case, di natin babaguhin yung c. Kasi na-simplify na natin siya, di ba? So we have y equals, tanggal na yung squared. Ayan, y na lang. Y equals the square root of x squared plus c. So yan yung ibig kong sabihin na nakasolve for y na siya. Okay? Pag kayang gawin ng ganyan, so much better. Pero kapag medyo complex na, I'm not requiring you to do it unless na nakaspecify na, okay, solve for y. Okay, tandaan niyo ha, i-specify ko naman siya. Pero kapag kaya, madali lang na i-solve for y, gawin nyo. Pero sa mga komplikadong mga solutions, you need not to put that into this format ng solution. So these are your general solutions. So pwedeng ito yung sagot nyo, y squared, or transpose mo tong x sa kabilang side, magiging ano siya, y squared minus x squared equal to c. So that's another way of writing your solution. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes
So
po.
may tanong pa ba dito? Wala na. Sa pag-simplify?
Okay naman po, sir.
Okay. Sige. Let's proceed to the next example. This is, yan, nakaayos na siya into mdx plus dy. Actually, ito dy, ito naman dx. So yung objective natin dito is, sakit ng liig ko guys, sorry. Ano ba yun? Stiff neck. Okay, so kailangan, para ma-integrate natin to, kailangan pure function of y. Okay? Para ma-integrate natin to, kailangan pure function of x. So ang tanong ba, ito ay separable ba or not? Sa unang tingin, separable ba siya?
Hindi po.
Kaya bang i-separate yung variables?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, yung x plus 1 na to, ayan, anong gagawin natin? Divide both sides. Pwede mo i-transpose to sa kabilang side. Kung saan ka masaya, pwede mo namang i-transpose to. Ayan. Since ito, medyo madali lang naman tong DE na to. Transpose mo na sa kabilang side. Sige. Or, divide both sides mo na with 1 plus x. Diba? Okay, copyin muna natin, dy. So, transpose sa kabilang side, maging positive y dx. Ayan. Cross multiply or divide both sides by, anong gustong tanggalin dyan sa left-hand side? Diba dy? So, kailangan pure function of y or variable y lang yung makikita mo. So, tatanggalin mo yung 1 plus x. So, divide both sides by 1 plus x. So, sa right-hand side, meron ka namang, yan, y dx. So, kailangan matanggal yung y. So, divide both sides by y. Nakuha yung point? Yung punto dito sa dy over y equals, you have dx over 1 plus x. So that's it. Pure function of y, pure function of x. So the next step is to integrate. Okay, so you will now integrate. That's this next step. So remember how to integrate this one. Logarithmic, diba? So dy over y. The integral of that is ln of y. Okay, paano naging ln of 1 plus x yan, sir? Okay, so before that, let me just recall, or let's just recall yung formula na yun sa integral. Okay, remember the integral of du over u is equal to what? ln of u. Okay? Plus c. Ganun gagawin mo. So, ibig sabihin, yung nasa numerator mo, yun yung differential ni u. Okay? So, if you are to check this one, kung ito yung u natin, ayan, u is equal to 1 plus x. Differentiate mo to. This is 0 dx, di ba? So, dx yung nasa numerator. So, satisfied niya yung formula na du over u. Kaya yung sagot dyan is ln of 1 plus x. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, nag-plus C tayo. Pero pwede pa itong ma-simplify. As you can, tandaan ha, paki-take note na lang guys or tandaan ninyo. Yung way ng pag-simplify natin, doon tayo titingin lagi sa variable y. Okay? Kung hindi siya simplified. So yun yung parang basehan natin para i-simplify siya. Kung halimbawa ito ay y lang, tapos y is equal to ln of x, okay na yun. Yun na yung final answer mo. But because yung y natin is naka-logarithmic siya na form, so may gagawin tayo dun sa mismong equation. Lalo na't diba, yung dalawang terms dito naka-ln pareho. So, kailangan i-simplify na natin to. Gawin na natin ln of c din to instead of writing this as. Okay, let me erase this and let's continue this one. Okay, go. Okay, take a look at this solution. Tapos na yung integration yung pag-simplify naman yung magiging challenge dito. So, tandaan nyo yung c could represent any value yan, any constant, di ba? Pwedeng ln of c, is still c pa rin yan. Square root of c, e raised to c. So yun yung ibig sabihin ng c. Pwede mong gamitin yung c or i-modify siya para ma-simplify mo yung entire equation. So gagawin natin, instead of writing plus c, gawin mo na rin siyang plus ln of c. Bakit ko ginawang ganyan? Kasi kapag nakaparehong ln yan, property of logarithmic functions, pwede nating i-combine. Di ba? If you remember, okay, again, another recall sa property ng logarithmic functions. Pag sinabi natin na ln of the product, yan, ln of x times y, equal yan sa, yan, product ha, ln of the first factor x plus ln of y. Okay? Na-recall nyo ba yan, yung property na yan? Kaya kapag nakaganitong format, pwede mo nang pagsamahin ito sa iisang term lang, which is ln of yan, 1 plus x times c. Ano ba yan? Sorry. Erase. Hindi malinaw. Okay, 1 plus x times c. Okay? Kasi plus, di ba? Now, paano naman yung minus, sir? So kapag ln of, recall lang naman to ng property ng logarithmic functions. So ito natural logarithm to. So same lang din naman yung magagamit. Same lang din naman yung property. So ln of the numerator minus naman siya. ln of the denominator. Okay? Na-recall nyo yan? Guys?
Opo, sir.
So yan.
Opo, sir.
Ginamit natin yung ganong idea para ma-simplify natin. Kasi you cannot perform anti-logarithmic, anti-ln kapag nakadalawang terms yan. So kailangan muna natin siya mapagsama sa isang term lang. Okay, let's continue. Okay. So ang ginagawa na dito is anti-ln. Okay. So ni-raise, ginawa siyang anti-ln both sides of the equation. So erase ln of y. So you apply it both sides of the equation. Ayan, sinulat ko na yung itong term na to is actually equal to ln of 1 plus x times c. So having done that, anti-ln of both sides of the equation, recall natin na erase ln of y is equal to y. O, property ng logarithmic functions or anti-ln yan. Erase ln of x is equal to x. Okay, that's why we were able to eliminate ln there. So y is equal to, magiging, tanggal ng ln guys pag ganon yung case, c times 1 plus x. So that's it. That's how you simplify this general solution. Okay? Questions? Okay. Magtanong na kayo dito baka hindi kayo maintindihan. Huwag mahiyang magtanong. Nasundan ba?
Opo, sir.
Okay, that's great.
Prove, sir.
Sure ha? So ginamit natin yung C para ma-simplify yung entire equation. So ganun lang. Hindi lang yung simple na binalikan pa rin natin yung mga properties nila, di ba, ng function na to. So even yung exponential function. Mamaya mapakita ko yung isa pang akala mo hindi separable pero separable pala. Akala mo hindi mo kayang paghiwalayin pero kaya palang paghiwalayin. So yung mga ganung example mamaya. Let's continue. Okay. Umulit lang, sir. Next na example na. Okay. Sige, our next example is x times y raised to negative 3 times dx plus e raised to positive x squared times dy equal to 0. Okay, take a look at the given differential equation. Separable ba siya by just looking at it or not?
No.
Separable siya, di ba?
Opo.
Siyempre naman, sir, kaya mo nga nilagay yan kasi separable yan dyan eh. Anyway, joke lang. Okay, naka-factored form kasi. Kaya nga, pwede mo yang ma-separate yung mga variables na yung x ay nakay dx, na yung y ay nakay dy. So, how will you do that? Divide both sides by, ano yung gusto mong tanggalin dito? Yung variable y, di ba? So, divide both sides by y raised to negative 3. So, ganun lang. Tapos sa second term naman, dapat pure function of y lang, di ba? So, i-divide natin siya. Yan. With these factors. Yan. E raised to x squared naman para dun sa second term. So, by doing that, we now have sa first term, tanggal na yung y raised to negative 3, kaya meron kang x na matitira dyan times dx. Okay? Over e raised to x squared. Ayan, pure function of x na yan. For the second term naman, tatanggalin natin yung e raised to x squared, kaya nag-divide tayo ng e raised to x squared, right? So, ang matitira dyan is you have dy over y raised to negative 3 equal to 0. So, may option ka na pwede mong i-transpose yung isa sa mga terms sa kabilang side, or you can work on this differential equation kasi pure function of x naman yung first term at pure function of y naman yung second term. So, pwedeng gano'n na lang muna yung gagawin mo as is mo na lang sa isang side, or pwede mong i-transpose na yung variable x doon sa, or yung term na merong variable x sa kabilang side. Again, so hindi ibig sabihin na kung ano yung solution ko, ito na lang yung parang gagawin mo kasi may ibang estudyante nang tatanong, sir, na hindi nakalimit lang sa ganun na way yung pag-present ng solution. Nakuha niya. So there are many ways on how to write your solution. Okay? Basta. You will encounter that. Kaya, let's proceed. So, ang ginawa ko dito is, anong nangyari, guys? Intindihan niyo ba itong ginawa ng nagsusulat? So, pag tinaas mo to, magiging negative na yung, di ba? Exponent, ganun lang yung mangyayari. So, x times e raised to minus x squared. Bakit ginawa yan? Kasi exponential yung involved, di ba? So, tingnan natin baka pwedeng magamit yung exponential na formula. So, here naman, so you can use actually power formula here. Pag tinaas mo to, nilagay mo sa taas, the sign will change from negative to positive. So, naging y cubed times dy. Okay? Na-follow nyo? So, the same lang yan sa taas. So, we can now perform integration. So, yung unang term, x times e raised to na minus x squared. So, recall natin yung formula kapag involve yung exponential function. So, baka pwedeng gamitin ng antiderivative for exponential function. Okay? Now, so we'll work on the first term. Yan. So, isolate muna natin siya. So, remember, integral of e raised to u du is equal to what? E raised to u. So, kailangan satisfied yung differential doon. So, kung yung u natin is, ayan, so we'll replace first. Yan is minus x squared. Inayos lang natin into this format. Kung itong x dx ba ay differential ni minus x squared. So, let u equal to minus x squared and then differentiate that. That is minus 2x dx. So, as you can see, you have x dx here. Diba? Ano yung kulang para masatisfy niya yung differential nito? Kailangan mo ng minus 2. Diba? Kailangan mo ng minus 2. So, pwede kang mag-introduce ng neutralizing factor. You can put minus 2 there. And then, sa labas ng integral symbol, so pwede mo i-divide by minus 2. Nakuha?
Opo.
Or pwede mong i-express yung sagot mo na yung x dx. So kung saan ka masaya, pwede mong as is na lang yung x dx, tapos papalitan mo na lang yung x dx in terms dun sa nakuha mong differential. So yan, binura ko muna yung minus 2. And pwedeng ganun yung way na gagawin mo or substitution gamit yung itong na-differentiate natin. So, i-represent x dx in terms of, yan, divide both sides by minus 2, kaya mayroon kang du over minus 2. So, same lang actually yung idea. That's why you have, ayan, e raised to u, yung x dx mo is equal to du over minus 2. Okay? Stack up. Ayan, so over minus 2 siya. So pagdating dito, pwede mo nang ilabas yung minus 1/2. Okay, integral of e raised to u du. And that, ang formula niyan is minus 1/2 e raised to u. So ganun lang. Ano ba yung u natin? Minus x squared. So ibalik mo na lang yung value ni u. Ang totoong value niya. So here, the answer for the first term is, ayun na, you have minus 1/2 e raised to minus x squared. And then for the second term, power formula lang yan. So you have y raised to 4 over 4. Alam ba yung power formula? Na-recall nyo yan? Yung y raised to n.
Opo, sir.
The answer is, pag integrate mo yan, magiging y raised to n plus 1 over n plus 1. Okay? So let's continue. Ayan. So y raised to 4 over 4 and equals, syempre, the arbitrary constant c. Yung nasa right-hand side mo. So dito, pwede natin i-simplify na to. So anong ginamit ko dito? Nag-divide by 4 ako sa c ko. Doon ako tumitingin lagi sa y. Okay? Para ma-simplify ko siya. So I'll multiply. Bakit 4? Kasi nga ito, divisible by 2 kasi yung 4, di ba? So kapag ito, multiply natin dito, maging whole number na yung 1/2 mo. Di ba? I mean, ma-transform na yung term na yan into having a coefficient na whole number. Okay, so by multiplying both sides by positive 4, we now have, okay, so burahin ko muna yung sa taas. Erase, erase, erase so I can write. I have a space to write on the result here. So we have 4 divided by minus 2. So you have minus 2 e raised to negative x squared. Sa second term, so magiging y raised to 4 na lang siya. And then sa last term is c. C pa rin siya. So yun yung magiging sagot mo actually. Transpose lang natin yung unang term sa kabilang side para maging positive siya. So ito na yung sinasabi ko na pwedeng gawin mo yung pag-transpose dun sa bandang last part na or ituloy mo lang na mag-integrate ka kapag napaghiwalay mo na yung variables. Okay? Na-gets? So ito na ngayon yung final answer mo unless you're asked to solve for y. So kunin mo yung fourth root. Yan. Fourth root of both sides of the equation. Kaya, yun yung sagot natin. Kaya nakasolve for y na siya. Or, as is mo na lang, naayusin na lang yung pinaka-equation mo doon. Kanina, naunahin mo yung positive na term. So, tapos minus ka 2 e raised to minus x squared and plus c. Okay, questions?
Okay naman po, sir.
Sundan naman? O sige, that's good. Maraming kasing pwedeng ways na para ma-present mo yung general solution mo. Ito pa yung isa sa mga ways. Sige, kasi gusto ko lang na ma-explore natin yung ibang mga techniques. So, katulad nito, sige, ayoko ng may negative exponent, di ba? So, ang gagawin ko dito is multiply ko both sides with what? E raised to, para ma-cancel to, positive, di ba? X squared. Di ba? Na-follow? Or i-divide both sides by this one, negative Tapos para makancel to. So, ang matitira dito sa unang term is meron kang minus 2. Sa pangalawang term, meron kang y raised to 4. Yan, yung idea lang na positive lahat ng exponential ng exponent. So, x squared equal to c e raised to x squared. Ayan na. Tapos pwede natin pagsamahin sa isang side na lang sila. Transpose mo to sa kabilang side. So, magiging factor out ko yung e raised to x squared times y raised to 4. Ayan, minus c. And kung gusto mo i-transpose sa kabila yung 2 para maging positive siya, equal to 2 or minus 2 ka equal to 0. Okay? So that's one way. Kasi baka may mga ganun na sa mga choices sa exam ninyo. Sabihin mo na, ay wala yung sagot ko. No answer to, ganyan. Pero pwede palang ayusin sa ganyang format, di ba? So yan. I have shown you several ways or several na ways of presenting your final answer or general solution. Okay? Guys? Nag-gets niyo ba yung ginawa ko?
Yes po, sir.
So, pwedeng ganyan. So, this is actually general solution. Ngayon naman, pagdating sa particular solution, so may given condition ka para ma-solve mo yung value ng C at i-plug in mo yung C na yan sa general solution para makuha mo yung particular solution. So, we'll have an example for that later. Okay, so we can now proceed to the next example. I think we have to remove this first. Okay, let's continue. Now, this one. Y is equal to, y times e raised to 2x times dx equals, ayan, sa right-hand side, ayan, 4 plus e raised to 2x. Madali lang yan, di ba? Kayang i-separate. Kasi, yung nasa left-hand side mo is dx. Diba? So, kailangan variable x lang yung makikita mo dyan. So, tatanggalin natin yung y, kaya we divide both sides by y. Sa right-hand side, dy. So, kailangan variable y lang yung makikita mo dyan. Nakuha? Ha?
Apo,
So,
sir.
kailangan i-divide natin both sides by 4 plus e raised to 2x. Okay, so that's it. So, dividing both sides, ang ginawa ko dito is in-interchange ko na sila. Yung kabilang side, yung dy nasa left-hand side, yung x naman nasa right-hand side. Kaya, yun naging result. Diba? Dy over y equals e raised to 2x times dx over 4 plus e raised to 2x. Okay, nasundan, pure function of y tsaka pure function of x. Now, we can integrate each term. So, ln lang yan, yung nasa left-hand side, ln of y. How about sa right-hand side? Let's check kung possible ba na magamit yung ln, yung formula na integral of du over u, which is ln of u. So, let's check kung yung denominator ng 4 plus e raised to 2x, kung yan yung ating u. We will now differentiate. Sige, differentiate natin yung u na yan. So, that is 0 plus yan, e raised to 2x, derivative ng 2x is 2 times dx. Tsaka, meron kang e raised to 2x dx dun sa numerator, ang kulang lang is positive 2. So, you need to introduce a neutralizing factor para ma-satisfy natin at magamit yung formula. Okay, or you can actually substitute, di ba? Yung e raised to 2x dx is equal to du over 2. So, you plug in that right-hand side. So, you have the integral of e raised to 2x dx is du over 2 over what? U. Yung 1/2 na constant, ilabas natin siya before the integral symbol. So you have du over u. That's why meron tayong 1/2 ln of u sa right-hand side. But what is u? I-plug in natin yung original na function. What is u? U is equal to 4 plus e raised to 2x. 4 plus e raised to 2x. So doon tayo mag-plus c na lang, di ba? ln of y, yan, plus the arbitrary constant c. Or we can simplify, di ba? Tingnan mo. ln of c ang gagawin natin dyan. But, para mapagsama natin sa iisang term, kailangan nating, anong gagawin natin sa 1/2 dyan? Tanggalin mo yung 1/2, ilipat natin siya. So, if you remember yung property ng logarithmic function, okay, recall ulit tayo nung panibago. Ito guys, may coefficient siya, di ba? A, ln of x, for example, argument mo. Itong a na to, pwede mo siyang ilipat doon as magiging exponent siya ng argument. So, magiging ln of x raised to a siya. Nakuha? Nakuha? So, yun yung idea natin dyan sa first term na to. Okay? So, I hope you still recall that one. Now, let's continue. So, magiging ano siya guys? ln of 4 plus e raised to 2x raised to 1/2 plus, okay, plus ln of c, or pag pinagsama na natin siya sa isang term. Yung kanina, pinakita ko na property ng logarithmic function. So, we have ln of y equals ln of 4 plus e raised to 2x raised to 1/2 times c. Na mag-anti-ln na tayo. Ginawa natin to para ma-apply natin yung anti-ln both sides of the equation. Okay? So that's it. So magiging y na lang siya equals arbitrary constant c times, ito ay square root actually of 4 plus e raised to 2x. That's your final answer. Nakasolve for y na siya. Okay? This is your general solution. And a general solution contains an arbitrary constant. Okay? Questions? Questions?
Sir, bakit naka-LN din yung C? Doon po sa baba.
Ginawa ko siyang ln of c para mapagsama ko na lang siya sa iisang term na lang sila.
Okay po.
Sure? Nagets? Okay. Ginawa ko siyang ln of c para mapagsama ko sa isang term. Di ba yung recall natin kanina yung sinabi ko na property ng logarithmic function kapag naka-ln of, for example, x plus ln of y yan, pwede mo nang pagsamahin. Basta provided na yung coefficient nila ay 1 ha? 1. Kaya ang ginawa ko dito sa 1/2, tinanggal ko siya at nilipat ko siya as exponent dito ng argument na to. Kaya yung result na to is ln of yan, the product of x and y. Ito na yun, di ba? Ito yung x mo with exponent. Tapos ito yung c mo. Kaya ito, nasa isang term na lang sila. Right?
Sir.
At pwede nang i-apply yung anti-ln. Okay? Ganun. Okay? Take note nyo to ha. Paano naman kapag log? Di ba? Pag log kasi, pag nag-anti-log ka, di ba kunyari, gusto mong malaman yung value ng x, edi erase mo lang. Yung anti-log is ganito. 10 raised to this. Kasi yung base nito is base 10, di ba? Para makancel mo yan. X na lang matitira. Ganun yung idea. Kasi ito, natural logarithm yung base niyan is e. Log of y to the base e, yung ibig sabihin ng ln or natural logarithm. Okay? Any questions pa? Kasi hanggang dyan lang yung example natin for general solution. We have one more example para dun sa pag-apply ng given condition. Okay, kung nasundan, edi great. Kung may tanong, magtanong na habang hindi pa tayo proceed sa next part. Okay? Let's erase this one and let's continue. Okay, now let's obtain the particular solution. This is just one example para lang ma-demonstrate natin how you can be able to determine the particular solution. Okay. Yan, separable DE. Ang condition natin dito is y of 4 is equal to -3. So ano ibig sabihin ng y of 4 equal to -3? Yan, gawin muna natin to para ma-determine yung general solution. So we have cross-multiplied. Nasa left-hand side, y squared over 2. Sa right-hand side is minus x squared over 2. So para simplify natin yung mismo solution na yan, gawin na rin natin na c over 2 yung instead of writing plus c, so gawing c over 2. Then multiply both sides by 2. So you now have y squared equals minus x squared plus c. This is now your general solution. At hindi yan yung hinahanap natin, di ba? Particular solution. So we have a condition para ma-solve natin yung value ni C. Okay? Gagamitin natin yung condition na yan. Ang ibig sabihin nito is that when x is equal to, ano value ni x dyan? When x is equal to 4, y is equal to minus 3. Now you plug in these values dun sa general solution. Okay? So ano yung value ni y? It's minus 3. So you have yan, minus 3 squared equals negative. Ano yung value ni x? 4 squared plus c. Ayan. So masolve natin yung value ni c. So you have minus 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. So minus, ano yan, 16 plus c. Transpose natin yung minus 16. So you have 9 plus 16 equals 25. Yun na yung value ni c. I-plug in mo kayo yung value ni c dun sa general solution. Now you have the particular solution. So y squared equals minus x squared plus 25. So actually circle yan, di ba? Equation ng circle. Pwede mong i-transpose yung minus x squared dun sa left-hand side para maging positive siya. So yung magiging solution mo is, ayan, other way of writing that is x squared, and positive siya, plus y squared equals 25. Okay? That's it. That's how you apply the given condition para ma-solve natin yung value ni C at to finally write our particular solution. Okay? So that's all. Yan na yung simple na explanation about, finding the particular solution. Okay? Any questions? Now I will show you, wait lang. Let me just write something. Now I'm going to ask you kung ito bang DE na to ay separable or not. X to ha. Mhm. Ang ingay ng kapitbahay ko. Narinig niyo ba sila? Sisigawan? Ay, hindi pala. Kasi okay, ito. Separable ba to or not?
Hindi siguro, sir.
No.
Hindi
No?
po.
Not separable, no? Sure?
No, sir.
Separable po.
Sino sabing separable? Sino yan?
Ako po.
What's your name?
Bendo
Ben.
po.
Bendo. Bendo, taga saan ka? Taga Maragondon? Hindi.
Gentry lang po.
Gentry ka. Akala ko, taga Maragondon. May kilala kasi akong Bendo, taga Maragondon. ECE din siya. Graduate na siya pala. Engineer na pala siya. Ayan. Engineer Bendo. Sabi ng Engineer Bendo, it's separable. Sabi naman ng ibang mga nandito, not separable. Okay. Na-recall niyo yung love exponents, guys? Okay. Ito, di ba? Love exponents. Pag pareho ng base, pwede siyang paghiwalayin yan, di ba? E raised to x times e raised to y. Alam niyo ba yan? Pareho ng base. So, ganyan. Love exponents ulit.
Apo, sir.
So, dahil dyan, anong masasabi niyo? Separable siya or not?
Separable po.
Separable.
Okay na? So, separable na siya yung idea. So, paano nga yan? Wait lang. Nagugulo yung mouse, ko. Hindi ko makita. Gutom na yata yung mouse ko. Ito pala. Ito guys, yun. Di ba? Naka-factored form na. Basta nakakayang i-factor out. Separable yun. Okay? So, paano yun, sir?
Yes, sir.
Sige. Ito, so ang nangyari dyan, itong y prime is dy over dx, di ba? So, dy over dx is equal to sine of, ito naman pure function of y naman to. Tapos meron kang x dito. So, ito dapat y lang yan dito. Tapos ito purong function of x. So, ang gagawin lang natin, cross multiply. Tapos, ano yung tatanggalin natin dito? Itong x. Ay, sorry. Di pala. Divide natin with x over. Undo. Tanggalin natin yung dx dyan. So, multiply by dx. Okay. Tapos, divide by, tanggalin mo yung x. E raised to x. Para maging function of y na lang siya. Ito, tatanggalin mo yung sign of y. Okay? Ayan na guys. So dito, dividing both sides and multiplying by dx, tanggal na to. So magiging ano na lang siya, e raised to y dy over sine of
Sin y. Y, sir.
y equals, ano nga sa kanan? Dx, di ba? Dx over x e raised to x. So ayan, pure function of y sa left-hand side and pure function of x sa, ayan, sa right-hand side. Okay? So yan yung mga example ng mga separable DE. May mga iba pang mga problems dyan na pwede nating, wait lang. Stop share ko na nga to. Nawawala si mouse. Okay. So let me just share you this one. Okay, may iba naman na factoring by grouping. Akala mo hindi pwedeng ito. Hanap ako ng problem dito sa libro. Okay, katulad nito. Wait lang, asan ka na? Exactly ito Ito. Yeah, number 21. Sulat ko muna. Try niyong paghiwalayin to ha. xy plus x. May papel kayo guys at ballpen.
Opo.
Practice lang ninyo. Ito, sinasabi ko sa inyo, separable na to ha. Pag hindi nyo kayang separate, ibig sabihin, meron kayong nakalimutan na technique sa pag-factor. Okay. Ito na lang yung last natin na example. Huwag kayong mag-alala. Makakakain na kayo ng lunch nyo after this. Okay, ito. Ayan. So this is actually a separable DE. So paano nyo? Paghiwalayin nyo nga. Sige, bigay nyo sa akin yung kahit i-dictate nyo na lang sa akin yung sagot nyo. Okay, go. I'll give you 2 minutes. Pag nagawa nyo, thumbs up. Nag-solve ba kayo? Okay. Nagsulat din ako dito just in case lang. Para explain ko na lang later. Kung pareho tayo ng sagot. Okay. Sige, take a look at my solution or my way of, separating the variables. Sino nakagawa?
Si Teves daw po.
Teves, ang galing naman ni Teves. Magaling kayong lahat. Okay? Sige, ito na guys. So as you can see here, di ba common yung x? So pwedeng i-factor out yung x, right? So ito na yung factored form, x times y plus 1. So pag nakaganto na yung format natin, so pwede na natin siyang ma-separate later, di ba? Matatanggalan natin yung y plus 1 dito. By dividing both sides by y plus 1. Here naman, so 4 na terms, ang ginawa natin is nag-factor tayo by grouping. Yung first 2 terms, since may common dito sa kanila yung x squared, isang group sila, isang term sila. Ginawa ko isang term. Yung y squared plus 1, ginawa ko rin isang term yan. So as you can see, in the first 2 terms, or itong term na to, first term na to, common yung x squared, right? So factor out ko yung x squared. Anong natira? Y squared plus 1. So as you can see, in dalawang terms natin, may common na factors, di ba? Yung y squared plus 1, ayan, sa bawat term. So dahil dyan, factoring out y squared plus 1 will give me, ano yung natira dito? X squared. Ano natira sa pangalawang term? 1. Kaya naka-factored form na siya. So para matanggal natin yung x squared plus 1 dyan, divide both sides by x squared plus 1. Kaya yung magiging sagot natin is, yan, so copyhin lang natin to. Plus 1 dx. Nasundan niyo ba guys? May tanong ba kayo sa ginawa ko?
Wala, sir.
Pero nakuha niyo yung point dito?
Opo, sir.
Edi okay na. Tapos na tayo. Basta ganun lang. See? Okay, so let's stop this one and let's have a group photo for this class. Thank you all. If you don't have any questions, so pwede na kayong magpakita at magpipicture na tayo para